All right, I have, and I'm going to pull it up on screen, this wonderful reference image. I hope you guys selected an equally wonderful reference image. And just because you're, drawing from a reference doesn't mean you have to copy it exactly. There's the observational field of art where you're drawing exactly what you see, and then there's the constructive field of art where you're building things out of shapes, forms, so forth. So I'm going to kind of talk you through my initial steps when I start this drawing, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to time-lapse the rest of it. In the spirit of using the paper I have and not, using more than I need, I'm going to use this side. There's no reason for this big line other than it's already there. So I'm hoping that I can maybe make it part of my drawing. And if not, I'm sure you guys will all forgive me. So the first thing I'm going to do, especially when I'm saying, just because I have this size piece of paper, doesn't mean that it's the correct space to draw my object in. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to say this line here is that closest corner of the building where the side and the front plane meet. So I'm going to treat this as a corner. And the first measurement I'm going to make is I'm going to say, okay, the ground that the building sits on and that horizon line that you can see low in the shot, I'm going to say estimate that it's right here. And so this is my initial measurement. So I'm going to say that the ground is maybe 1/4 of the total height. So if I had this and then if I doubled the length, do you see how I'm doubling? That's half, and then I double the length again, and that's 1, 2, 3. I double again. So this is where the top of my building is going to be. And then the top of my page actually is up here. So I'm actually going to kind of just draw a line, and this is the new top of my page. So I've started with some vertical measurements, and I'm hoping that because I started with some vertical measurements, maybe things will go better. The next thing I'm evaluating is width. So the building looks to be taller than it is wide. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to remember here is where the ground meets. I'm going to kind of drop a line back, and then looking at the other side, I'm going to drop a line in the other direction. And I got to be very careful because I haven't set my vanishing point yet. So maybe what I should do is I should say, okay, this is the horizon line. And in a picture like this, if you mapped it out, the vanishing points would be way off the page. So you're going to have to just keep in mind that they're off. Your vanishing points are off the page. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to just map things in. So it's really difficult for me to talk and draw like this, so I'm going to just kind of shut up and draw. And the thing is, what I want you to know is when you're making a drawing, you are in the driver's seat. So just evaluating this, there's these beautiful reliefs up top. There's these sculptures on the side that are they're like 3/4 sculptures. They're not fully in the round. They're kind of like paintings. A lot of that detail stuff is maybe secondary to the form of this drawing. So I'm going to worry about details later. What I'm really doing is I'm squinting down, which is literally just squinting your eyes, and I am determining what the major forms of the building are. And I think the major form here is a box, and then I see that there have been parts cut out of it. And I can even, it doesn't read this way on the drawing, but you can see those circles in the arcs. Both arcs are actually a half circle, and then they look more elliptical because of the angle the picture is taken at. So here we go. Let's see what happens. I'm going to quiet down so I can focus on the drawing. And after you watch this demo, either one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to feel really like, oh my gosh, I can do this because Mr. Seidel is so good at art, or you're going to feel like, wow, man, did he blow it? And it's like, well, then maybe you shouldn't feel so bad if you have a hard time with it.